every morning with drive. Been on the grind, know I had to survive. We had to win. Started from the dirt and the rubble. I had to be the needle that was popping your bubble.
Hello and welcome into the Rookie Prospect Profile Series. This is a Zilla Fantasy Elite production. If you have been enjoying these rookie prospect profiles, both for running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. Today we're going to be looking at running back Isaac Guerendo in both the RStudio model and the neural network model for running backs. Isaac Guerendo was drafted number 129 overall in the 4th round by the San Francisco 49ers. He previously played college football for the Wisconsin Badgers and Louisville Cardinals. Very interesting prospect here as we'll get into their physical traits. So their physical traits we see comes in exactly at 6 foot, 221 pounds, so really big back, giving us a BMI of 30. The interesting part though, he ran a 4.33 at his size, 221 pounds, giving us the fastest speed score, I believe, in the class at 125.7. So running a 4.33 at 221 pounds, very impressive. We're going to put those numbers of his physical traits along with some of their college numbers into the RStudio model and see what kind of prospect score we get. And we do see that he comes in at a nice 15.095 for an RStudio prospect score. It's ranked 74th out of the 327 running backs in the RStudio model's database, which is in the 77th percentile at 77.4%. So let's look at those closest comparables in the RStudio model. The closest one in rank would be Ronald Jones. The next closest above him, TJ Yeldon, then Shane Vereen, Ben Tate, Monty Ball, Daryl Henderson. The next closest below him would be Jamal Charles, Roy Helu, Jay Ajayi, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Devon Achane. We do see some pretty interesting names there. Jamal Charles, Jahmyr Gibbs, Devon Achane, all in that particular range. Kind of interesting seeing those three and their play styles and how they did in their rookie seasons there with Gibbs and Achane. So I'll keep that one in mind. But I think based off of these, 11 players that are in here, Roy Helu would probably be the most comparable person. Kind of an underground guy, very, very athletic guy and bigger. A little bit worse of a prospect coming in than Isaac Guerendo here, but kind of an underground person that never really made it in the NFL. And that might be Isaac Guerendo's, end fate here in the NFL. But Roy Helu was one of those guys that came in as a rookie, and I think he was actually the #1 running back there for the Raiders for one season. So you never know what that might come out with, but I think that is his closest player comp in the RStudio model database. Let's switch now to the neural network machine learning model for Isaac Guerendo and see what we pop up here. And we do see he's got some pretty solid numbers here. We're looking at 31 running backs in the class. He is the 9th drafted in the NFL draft, and his ranks, all in between number 4 and number 10 for percentile there. So mean and median at 11.8, 11.73. We've seen quite a few prospects roughly in that range. So we'll go look at historical comps there in a bit. But that maximum output at 18.17, 4th best in the class, basically saying if Isaac Guerendo gets that playing time, his ceiling is actually quite high compared to most of the people in the class. So it does like this profile quite a bit. The RStudio model liked the profile quite a bit. So usually when those two things converge, might be looking at a running back that might find themselves, successful in the fantasy realm as well. So let's go look at those historical comps for the mean and median range in between, 11.7, 11.8 range. All of these players are in between 11.5 and 12 fantasy points per game as their career best. We have Salvon Ahmed, Daryl Williams, Jerick McKinnon, Jalen Warren, Matt Breida, Darren Sproles, Sean Green, Chase Edmonds, J.D. McKissick, and Tavon Austin, all in that range. Don't really have a super good comparable there. Sean Green was roughly his size, but he ran a 4.6. Same with Daryl Williams. He ran a 4.7 and was in the 220 range, but Really, all these other backs are smaller in the sub 200 category for the most part. So Jerick McKinnon probably the closest comparable as, you know, a freak athlete at 209 pounds, but really no one in that range that compares to Isaac Guerendo in that sense. Let's go look at that maximum output. We saw that over 18. We do see that at 18.17. Who in historical context was hitting that range? Basically, all of these guys are between 18 and 18.9 fantasy points per game. There's not a huge list. We actually have Joe Mixon at 17.99, Leonard Fournette 18.25, Peyton Hillis 18.43, Noshawn Moreno at 18.5, and Marshawn Lynch in his best season hit 18.9 fantasy points per game. So that's the rough range you can expect if Isaac Guerendo hits a ceiling. You're looking at like a Leonard Fournette, Joe Mixon style season from him. If he can take over a backfield and get all of the work for a season, you can roughly expect him in that range if he hits his ceiling. Well, hopefully the RStudio model and the machine learning model give you a little bit more information in terms of making those decisions when you're in the draft room and all that analysis you're doing with all of your prospects there. That's going to do it for today's episode and rookie prospect profile on Isaac Guerendo. This is presented by Zilla Fantasy Elite. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.